we
IONS have been vaccinated. And we are ready to welcome the new academic year.
Halo semuanya, selamat siang. Kembali bertemu dengan saya, Christine, di kesempatan yang luar biasa kali ini. Pokoknya keren banget deh hari ini. Buat teman-teman yang bisa join, selamat. Anda termasuk yang beruntung menurut saya pada hari ini. Nah, buat teman-teman yang belum bisa, nanti kita tetap bisa dilihat di channel IONS International Education di YouTube ya. Baik, selamat siang semuanya, sehat selalu. Jangan lupa selalu untuk ingat protokol kesehatan yang sudah didengung-dengungkan, diingatkan selalu oleh pemerintah dan juga instansi-instansi yang berwenang. Untuk hari ini tentunya sesuai dengan temanya, Find Your Way to Work at 5-Star Hotel. Hari ini akan ditemani oleh narasumber-narasumber kita yang paling oke dan juga yang benar-benar bisa memberikan informasi yang tentunya sangat bermanfaat buat kita semua. Kita sapa dulu ya. Yang pertama adalah Miss Amel from IDP Yogyakarta. Halo Miss Amel.
Halo, apa kabar Mbak Christine?
Baik, apa kabar? Sehat semua ya Miss Amel ya?
Sehat-sehat semua.
Ya, kita sama-sama menyapa juga ya Miss Amel. Ini tamu kita yang tentunya sangat penting begitu di hari ini. Ya, kita sapa dulu. Hai, Mr. Tim.
Halo, Mr. Tim.
How are you, Mr. Tim?
Hello. I'm very good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Ya, Mr. Tim ini langsung ya live dari Perth ya.
Yes.
Ya, nanti akan memberikan informasi dan share informasi setelah dari saya, kemudian Miss Amel. Baik, kita langsung aja. Mau menginformasikan update yang paling termutakhir gitu misalnya.
Paling terupdate ya.
Terupdate gitu ya. Untuk yang bulan Februari, buat teman-teman yang khususnya punya rencana untuk persiapan kelas bahasa Inggrisnya, atau di sini yang pengen ambil preparation-nya, di sini ada exam preparation classes yang untuk studi ke luar negeri, atau yang masih berjalan menuju persiapan studi ke luar negeri, kita ada exam preparation classes-nya. Di sini ada IELTS, kita di bulan Februari buka IELTS Foundation dan juga Advance. Nanti teman-teman bisa placement test dulu ya. Kemudian ada ITP dan juga tentunya ada IDP, jadwal-jadwal seperti yang tertera di monitor ya. Nah, kemudian untuk adik-adik yang memang tujuannya belum ke exam preparation classes, kita tetap ada persiapan yang regular classes-nya. Ada adults, kemudian ada teens class, kemudian ada kids-nya. Ini yang untuk bulan Februari ya, tahun 2022 intake, jadwalnya seperti yang tertera di layar. Oke, next. Nah, buat yang ambil program persiapan di bulan Februari, kita adakan seperti promo ya. Di sini ada potongan untuk 10% plus 5% untuk regular classes-nya. Nomornya yang kira-kira teman-teman pengen hubungi di 0815 4212 1374 untuk WhatsApp, atau bisa telepon langsung ke IONS International Education di 0274 582 992. Kalau kepingin penasaran, langsung ketemu aja dengan kita di gedung IONS International Education, Jalan C 9 Juntak 50 Tarban. Nanti googling aja IONS International Education, sudah muncul di situ, tinggal klik aja direction-nya. Itu ya. Next-nya ya. Nah, ini untuk kelas yang adults, kita di tanggal 16 Februari jam 1 kita mau adakan free learning for adults. Ini temanya profiles ya. Di sini nanti tinggal registrasi aja di bawah waktu itu ya, jam 1 sampai jam 2 itu ada bit.ly IONS Free Februari 2022. Tuh, ya. Nanti pilih di tanggal 16 Februari. Oke, next. Nah, buat teman-teman yang kepengen ikutan, di sini juga free untuk English Club-nya, bisa untuk anak-anak SMA atau teman-teman SMA dan juga umum mahasiswa Yang paling terdekat di tanggal 2 Maret 2022 jam 1. Nanti fasilitasnya sudah dapat goodie bag, kemudian ada soft drink juga, kemudian dapat sertifikat ya, dan juga ada block note ya. Itu update terupdate gitu misalnya. Dari IONS International Education yang kaitannya dengan preparation studi ke luar negeri, khususnya untuk yang menunjang teman-teman yang kepengen ambil exam preparation ataupun bahasa Inggris yang reguler yang sebelum ambil exam preparation-nya. Oke, kita langsung aja ke narasumber kita yang paling setia dengan IONS ini dari IDP Yogyakarta. Silahkan Miss Amel.
Terima kasih Mbak Christine. Kita
Yes.
langsung mulai ya. Mohon di share screen.
Ya.
Slide-nya, saya Amel dari IDP Yogyakarta. Kita akan bantu untuk studi yang ingin studi luar negeri, terutama ke Australia ya hari ini, karena kita temanya atau bekerja samanya hari ini dengan The Hotel School di Australia. Next. Mohon dicatat ya teman-teman ya Mbak Christine. Jadi IDP service itu benar-benar gratis. Mulai kita dari counseling, admission-nya, jadi dari mulai pendaftaran sekolahnya, sebutnya kita admission ya, lalu kemudian cari tempat tinggalnya, accommodation, kita bantu semuanya. Kemudian student visa application kalian yang ke Australia nanti, karena kalau mau ke Australia harus berangkat nanti harus pakai visa.
Betul.
Student visa gitu. Lalu kemudian juga ada pre-departure briefing-nya. Jadi tenang aja, semua service IDP itu free.
Ya, dari counseling-nya, admission-nya, accommodation, visa application, dan juga pre-departure.
Yes.
Oke.
Next, kita juga ada IDP Live App, jadi bisa mulai download, tinggal cari aja di
Play Store ya.
Di Play
Bisa
Store.
di Play Store, nanti cari IDP Live App-nya ya.
Bagus banget karena semua info-info semua ada di sana semua. Next. Nah, pasti ada yang nanya, Miss Christine, gimana sih kalau dari awal sampai berangkat nanti itu tahapannya apa aja? Mulai dari pertama otomatis translate dokumennya, kemudian persiapan IELTS atau TOEFL-nya sebelum ambil tes yang formal. Saya sarankan kalian harus persiapan, ikutlah course-course yang disediakan oleh IONS.
Iya, betul.
Benar nggak? Kalian bisa pilih tuh mau ambil IELTS atau mau ambil TOEFL IBT, terserah kalian. Dua-duanya diadakan di sini ya?
Ada semua kita. Ada IELTS, IBT, ITP bahkan, ataupun TOEIC juga kita ada. Iya, nanti untuk official testnya tentunya dengan IDP, kita di sini sudah ada computer delivery testnya.
Untuk IELTS ya?
Untuk IELTS, kemudian untuk IBT juga sudah ada juga official testnya.
Good banget. Terus nanti ada juga setelah kita mulai translate dokumennya, bisa diberikan ke kita untuk kita mulai pendaftaran kuliahnya. Apakah bisa Mbak Christine kalau ada murid-murid ION, submitnya ke Mbak Christine dulu langsung baru ke kita, boleh?
Boleh. Iya, sangat bisa.
Mungkin kalau misalnya lebih mudah lagi les di sini,
betul,
sekalian kasih ke Mbak Christine.
Biasanya karena memang kalau di IONS International Education untuk konsultasi study abroad itu memang kita masukkan di fasilitas. Jadi setiap siswa yang mau konsultasi dengan di sini iLink ya, jadi itu bisa konsultasi ketemu, nanti isi form dulu atau bisa langsung WA Mbak Papa, bisa juga nanti bisa ketemu dengan saya, nanti kita bisa sharing, kita bisa ketemu, nanti setelah itu baru biasanya saya informasikan saya konsult ini lebih baik bagaimana, nanti kurang lebih seperti itu. Sangat mudah dan sangat cepat.
Jadi bisa cari Mbak Christine di IONS ataupun langsung ke IDP, terserah mana yang mudah.
Sama aja.
Tapi kalau lagi les, lagi persiapin IELTS, lagi kelas di sini, boleh kasih
boleh,
dokumennya
betul.
ke Mbak
Sangat-sangat boleh.
Nah, setelah itu butuh beberapa waktu, paling lama, nggak lama kok, setelah proses selanjutnya letter of acceptance nggak lama, paling 2 minggu udah dapat surat penerimaannya. Dan tenang, satu hal lagi, tidak ada biaya sama sekali sampai tahapan letter of acceptance.
Oh, berarti tidak ada biaya sampai dengan tahapan letter of acceptance.
Ya, itu semacam surat penawaran dari kampusnya setelah kita daftar, apakah kita nilai-nilai kita diterima, apakah IELTS kita sudah mencukupi, mereka akan mengeluarkan surat namanya letter of acceptance. Nah, itu artinya udah diterima, teman-teman. Nah, kalau udah diterima, berarti next-nya apa lagi, Kak? Kalau emang oke, kalian mau lanjut sekolah luar negerinya, dibayar sesuai dengan jumlah yang tertera di surat tersebut. Nah, nanti kalau emang udah dibayarkan oleh orang tua kalian, keluarlah surat namanya Confirmation of Enrollment. Tanpa adanya surat Confirmation of Enrollment, tidak akan bisa lanjut ke tahapan selanjutnya.
Ya, berarti itu yang
visa.
Iya, berarti itu yang penting ya untuk teman-teman. Itu tadi tahapannya letter of acceptance. Yang setelah itu yang terpenting jangan lupa untuk yang confirmation of enrollment-nya itu.
Benar. Lanjut, kalau gitu tahapannya seperti ini ya teman-temannya.
Kemudian baru visa application.
Benar.
Baik.
Benar. Next. Nah, pasti ada yang bertanya durasi kuliahnya di luar negeri itu berapa lama? Kalau bachelor degree atau S1 3-4 tahun, kalau master 1-2 tahun. Tapi yang hari ini kita kan bintang tamunya atau narasumbernya dari The Hotel School ya.
The Hotel School.
Nanti kita bisa tanya-tanya lebih detail lagi.
Ya, kalau ini jurusannya sepertinya banyak ya, tidak hanya yang bachelor degree, nggak cuma ada yang sertifikatnya, seperti ada di graduate diploma dan sebagainya.
Benar. Nanti kita bisa langsung tanya ke Mr. Tim, nanti Mr. Tim akan menjelaskan dari The Hotel School detailnya yang jurusannya apa aja. Next. Nah, ini juga kalau mau masuk S1 atau bachelor degree, untuk universitas perlu program namanya pra-universitas atau foundation. Kemudian lanjut lagi ada program diploma atau international year one program, atau juga ada pilihan terutama ke The Hotel School ya, bila kalian sudah lulus dari SMA kelas 3 atau year 12-nya, bisa memilih langsung pilihan yang ketiga, yaitu langsung masuk ke tahun pertama kuliah.
Luar biasa, jadi direct entry ya.
Jadi yang tahapan atas-atasnya itu bisa di-skip. Nah, bisa langsung ke direct entry to the first year of study at the hotel school. Next. Nah, pasti pengen nanya nih, dokumennya apa aja sih, Miss? Ya, otomatis paspor. Terus kemudian kalau academic qualification berarti kalian lulus dari SMA kelas 3 kalian di sini. Ataupun kalau emang mau master berarti harus lulus dari bachelor degree atau S1 di Yogyakarta ataupun di Indonesia ya, teman-teman semua. Dan ada lagi syarat yang ketiga adalah harus ada IELTS atau TOEFL IDP score yang memang skornya mencapai. Nanti kita bisa tanya lebih detail lagi.
Nanti kita bisa tanya ke Mr. Tim, berapa sih sebenarnya IELTS score atau IDP score yang diminta untuk bisa memenuhi persyaratan daftar di The Hotel School. Next. Nah, scholarship possibilities memang kalau selain dari beasiswa dari pemerintah ya, kalau di universitas di Australia itu memang biasanya potongan uang kuliah. Jadi namanya partial scholarship. Nanti Amel bantu tanyain deh ke Mr. Tim apa aja ya yang ini ya, syaratnya mungkin dibutuhin apa aja. Next-nya, nah kalau kalian mau follow sosial media kita, bisa langsung follow di idp.yogyakarta. Bisa di screenshot juga tuh kita ada Zoom linknya virtual office kita dan ada nomor WhatsApp-nya kita. Jadi tenang aja, bisa langsung kontak kita di detail ini, guys. Nanti buat teman-teman yang nggak sempat, langsung YouTube aja, nanti bisa dicari lagi kan ada di ini juga. Nanti baru di
bener
screenshot.
banget. Next. Nah, itu juga ada alamat emailnya tim kita yang di sana untuk Australia, New Zealand, dan UK, Irlandia, dan juga untuk IELTS officer kita. Jadi kita langsung sekarang menuju ke yang paling tunggu-tunggu nih.
Yang paling kita tunggu-tunggu.
Find my way to
today ini ya, star-nya ya, Mr. Tim. Ya, kita langsung saja ya.
Halo Mr. Tim.
Hello.
We want to know more about how to work or what we do that we can work at 5-star hotel after we study in Australia. So please, we can wait to hear.
Yeah, we can wait to hear.
Sure. I'm really excited to share it with you and all of the viewers out there as well. So, I've got a bit of a presentation I can run through and show you how it all works.
Yes, please.
So, Mr. Tim, 1 minute, we can say hi to all the participants here that already joined us today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to have you all here. Hello.
Terima kasih teman-teman yang udah join ya. Jadi kita bisa segera mulai mendengarkan presentasi dari Mr. Tim. Yes, Mr. Tim.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Let me share the slides
Yes.
and I can show you all. Talk to you a little bit today about how to find your way to work at 5-star hotels with the Hotel School Australia.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you about some of the exciting things that are happening in Australia right now. In my opinion, having worked in international education for the last 15 years, right now is the best time to be an international student in Australia studying hotel management, and I'm going to share with you why. Next slide, please. So first of all, if we can talk a little bit about the career choices, I think it's important to talk about this because a lot of people think when you talk about hotel management that, oh, it's just to be a chef or it's to work in housekeeping. But actually what we teach at the hotel school is a Bachelor of Business in Hotel Management or a Masters of Business in Global Hotel Leadership. Hotels, hospitality, tourism, events, they are businesses. So we are equipping our students with the necessary skills that they need to be able to run these businesses, to be a manager or a leader in these businesses. So there's actually quite a wide range of career opportunities available for students. Sometimes students aren't really aware of this. There's things like event management, which is a really big area. We actually have a lot of students who are, want to be entrepreneurs. So they have that entrepreneurial spirit. They come to us, they learn about events management, and then they go and start their own business in events, because often the capital needed to start a business in the event space is less than in the hotel space. You can, of course, work in general hotel management. So rooms division, front office, food and beverage management. It's important to note that we are not teaching students how to cook at the hotel school. I know sometimes culinary and hotel management are combined together, but in Australia, they are very separate. So ours is not a culinary qualification at all. It's a business qualification with a specialisation in hospitality, hotel and event management. You can, of course, work in hospitality, in tourism is a big area, but you can also work in business. Now, a lot of people don't know the huge number of business-related positions in a hotel. So every hotel has a sales and marketing team. They have a human resource management team. They have a revenue and finance. They have public relations. So in each hotel, they have these teams. That means there's a huge demand from the industry, especially now as the industry is booming in Australia. To be quite honest with you, we can't get enough staff into the hotels right now because there is a huge demand after years of a closed border. It is very exciting that the borders are open and international tourists are coming back. So there's a huge demand and a real big possibility for students to gain exciting work experience and start a really, really exciting career in this industry. Next slide, please. Okay, so choose your path, pursue your further studies with the Hotel School Australia. Next slide. Okay, so why? Why come to the Hotel School Australia? Well, first of all, we're offering a public university degree. So it's a degree that is recognised not only in Australia, but internationally as well, from a university that is very well ranked in terms of the area of hospitality and leisure management. You get your work experience as well. So we're very big on that at the Hotel School. We know that your qualification alone is not enough to get you a job. So what we are doing at the Hotel School from the very first day that you arrive, during orientation, we will actually be connecting you with employment opportunities. We want our students to work part-time whilst they study. We want them to gain work experience in our sector because that helps us at the end of the qualification find you an even better position. So you get work experience whilst you're studying. We also have an internship component in both the Bachelor and the Master's program, as well as our associate degree program as well. So you get work experience. You get a significant amount of work experience whilst you're studying, which obviously helps you to start off at a higher level after you graduate. It also allows you to earn some money to support the cost of living and studying in Australia. And we're also big on networking. So get your business network. We have this saying that it's not what you know, but who you know, which is more important. So what we're doing is we are connecting our students with industry professionals. We are connecting them with recruiters, with managers from the sector, so that you start to build this network. Because after you leave the hotel school, it's important to have this extensive network, which can help you to find further employment opportunities. So you get your degree, you get the work experience, you get the business network, and at the end of all of that, you are really set up for a successful career. Next slide, please. So a little bit about the Hotel School Australia, because we are a bit different and we're a little bit unique. We are actually the only hotel school in the world which is jointly owned by a 5-star hotel investor and a public university. So we are this mix between industry and education. So in terms of the 5-star hotel investor, we're part of a company called Malfa. Now, Malfa is a huge company originally out of Malaysia. And Malfa is a multi-billion-dollar investment company, and they invest in many different areas, in education, in real estate, but one of the largest areas that they invest in is in luxury 5-star hotels. Now, our degrees are delivered, are accredited or awarded by Southern Cross University, which is a public Australian university. So students are getting the public Australian university degree, and they're getting the benefit of being part of a huge investment company which owns many hotels. And that's why we say to students that you can study with us and work with us. Next slide, please. I'm going to show you a few of the Malfa properties on this slide. Malfa owns a large number of 5-star hotels, which you'll be familiar with some of these names. Next slide, please. So we have a little bit of a snapshot. This is not all of the hotels we own. This is just a bit of a selection. We own the Intercontinental Sydney, which is actually just next door to our Sydney campus. We own Nasuto Stadium Apartment Hotel in Auckland. We own London Marriott Hotel Grosvenor Square. We own a Sofitel in Paris. We own the largest Sofitel in the world, actually, which is in the Philippines, in Manila. We own the Novotel Century, Hong Kong, and we own the Ibis North Point, Hong Kong. So you can see from this selection here, we own properties all over the world, and different sorts of properties, from luxury hotels to apartment hotels, business hotels, more of the resorts. And at all of these properties, our students have the opportunity to gain work experience, build their professional network. So it really is a distinct advantage, because these are our own hotels. We are able to offer jobs with famous international brands to our own students, which is a really special thing for the hotel school. Next slide, please. I wanted to show here the properties that we own in regional areas, starting with Intercontinental Hayman Island, which is actually one of Australia's most luxurious island resorts. So to stay a night on this island is about $2,000 a night at our Intercontinental property there. Intercontinental Sanctuary Cove is a huge property on the Gold Coast. We have a Ridges in Cairns. We have Bimbadgen, which is a big winery, and we own the Maritz Hotel and Salzburg Apartments. Now, all of these properties are in what the Australian government calls regional locations. So why is that important? Well, we know that students that come down to study with us in Australia, some of them are coming down to get the experience, the degree, and then to go back home. Others are looking to stay in Australia longer term. Now, working in a regional location, so you can do your internship here. After your internship, you can go on to a post-study work rights and work for 2 or 3 years in one of these locations. Doing it in a regional area really opens up your possibilities of staying longer term, because there are distinct advantages to migration, to applying for other visas, by doing work experience and living in a regional location. And these are amazing places to live as well. Very, very popular. And right now we have jobs available at all of those hotels. So they are all employing staff. So again, I mentioned at the start of this that now is the best time to be an international student coming down to study at the Hotel School Australia. And that's just because of the sheer amount of jobs that there are. And not only is it easy to get the first job, but what we're also seeing is very quick progression through to supervisor level, then through to management level, which is very exciting. Next slide, please. Employment opportunities. We had over 10,000 employment opportunities made available in 2019. It was the same in 2020. And even last year in 2021, we had over 10,000. It was 10,638, I think, employment opportunities made available last year in the middle of a pandemic, which is amazing. We are a boutique hotel school, so we have roughly about 1,000 students studying with us. So that means that there was 10 potential job opportunities for each student. That means there's choice. Okay, you're not forced to go into a job that you don't want to. You have options when you are a student with the hotel school. And that's really exciting. Also, I think from a parent's perspective, if I was looking to send my son or daughter down to Australia or anywhere internationally, and we know that the cost of international education, it's an investment that the parents are making. And you need to have confidence that you're going to see a return on that investment. And having that many employment opportunities made available to our students, I think gives parents confidence that they will see a return on the investment that they make by sending their son or their daughter down to study at the Hotel School Australia. Next slide, please. Graduate employment rates. So these are our graduate employment rates from last year, the last survey that was done. We had 93% graduate employment within 6 months of graduation. So 93% of our students were in full-time work within 6 months of graduation. It's amazing. I think the other statistic that we can see here on this slide for me is even more impressive, that almost 80% of our students were in graduate employment before graduation. So they'd either received a full-time job offer or they'd started working full-time, almost 80% before they'd even graduated, which is, again, amazing and something that gives a lot of confidence to the next generation of students coming down to study with us. Next slide, please. So everything that we do at the hotel school is about making sure our students are ready for work, ready for the industry. That's how we judge success at the hotel school, is those metrics that you've just seen there. How many of our students gained employment? Were they happy with the employment that they gained afterwards? So to make sure we put them in the best possible position to gain employment, we offer a lot of job-ready practical training. So we do things like field trips to our Malfa properties where the students get behind the scenes access. They get to talk to the GMs, they get to go back of house, they get to see how these successful businesses run. We do international field trips. So we're again planning to do another field trip to Singapore, maybe in October of this year. So we take a whole bunch of students over there. We take them behind the scenes of Marina Bay Sands, of the Raffles Hotel. We take them to interact with the local Singaporean hospitality students, just so they can get an idea or an understanding of how the industry works in a different country. We have an industry guest speaker series. So every week we have someone from the industry, a successful manager, director, GM, will come and talk to our students about different things which are tied in with the units that they're studying. Again, just to provide some real world exposure to what they're learning in the classroom. In our master's program, we also have certain classes which are delivered by industry guests. We offer specialist career coaching, personal brand development, career panel discussions. And one of the really exciting things that we do is mock interview sessions, which we don't just do with our staff. They're actually done with real HR managers from top 5-star hotels. And they will come in and they'll sit down with students. They will do a half-an-hour interview and they will give honest feedback about what they did well, areas that they can improve on, because we know that interviews are scary, right? Interviews are still scary for me. And interviews are really scary if you're a student just starting your career out. So to have that opportunity, to have that exposure and that high pressure environment of having a mock interview with a real HR manager is a really valuable experience. Next slide, please. Our Professional Learning Centre, in my opinion, is one of the most important teams at the hotel school. Their role is to help our students connect to the industry, to make sure that they're job ready, and to help them find internships and graduate employment. So they have a schedule of different sessions that they run every semester. And they include things like LinkedIn courses, teaching you how to optimize your profile on LinkedIn. It's an important tool for people, professional tool for people to network and find employment opportunities. They organise the leadership speaker series, things like Manager for a Day, where you can shadow a manager from a Malfa property in a 4- or 5-star hotel. We do winery tours, mock interviews, networking lunches, opera training, which is the front office software which is used by most hotels around the world. Industry insights, F&B workshops, so a whole range of different add-on things which are outside of the curriculum, which are there to provide additional value to our students. Next slide, please. Internships. Internships are a very exciting part of both the undergraduate and the postgraduate programs at the hotel school. Internships provide an opportunity for students to put into practice what they've learned in the classroom in the sessions before. They give them an opportunity to further extend their work experience, to further build their professional network. And we offer a huge range of different internships, particularly at the moment. There's a lot of choice for students. Hotels are fighting over students, and the different businesses trying to attract the students to go and work for them. So as well as the normal internships in hotels, tourism businesses, hospitality businesses, we also offer a unique opportunity of doing a Malfa internship. Now, the Malfa internship means actually at the headquarters of a multi-billion-dollar investment company. And it could be in finance, it could be in sales and marketing, it could be in public relations. We also offer the opportunity to do overseas internships. Now, this is not something that many of our international students do, and you'll see why shortly, because the salary rate for internships in Australia is probably the best in the world. But you do, if you would like to get some international experience, some international exposure, we can certainly help you to secure an overseas internship as well. Next slide, please. Okay, I mentioned that the salary rate for internships is very good in Australia. We have an internship starting rate at just over 27 Australian dollars per hour. So we've worked this out. The potential to earn is based on the minimum number of hours that you have to do in our bachelor or our master's internship, which is 600 hours. Now, 600 hours is the minimum. Students can actually do more hours than that. So they basically get about 6 months to do the internship. So it's not uncommon for them to earn significantly more than this, but the minimum that the students would earn during the internship is $16,212, which is fantastic and very helpful to put towards the cost of living and the cost of tuition for students. Next slide, please. Graduate recruitment service. So we have this free graduate placement service. It's available to all students, accessible up to 12 months after graduation. To be honest, not many of our students need it because there are lots of jobs out there and our students are in demand from the industry. But if you do happen to lose your job or you want to switch, you're welcome to come back to the hotel school to access our huge job notice board and to speak to our team who can help guide you towards the right opportunity for you. So that's just a free additional service available to all students. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm going to show you where our campuses are now. So we have some fantastic locations and we're back open as of the 15th of December last year. We were able to open the border for international students. So we're all very excited to welcome back our friends from around the world, ready for semester 1 on campus. So the first campus location that we have here is Sydney. This is where it all started back in 1989, which is when the Hotel School Australia started. So we're right in the middle of the CBD, as you can see there, only 400 metres to Circular Quay, which is where the Opera House is, where the Sydney Harbour Bridge is. Circular Quay is a central public transport terminal. So you can get the train, you can get ferries, you can get buses, you can get light rail, all come to Circular Quay. It means it's very easy for our students to access our Sydney campus. You can see also here the pins there showing some of the famous hotels around Australia: Marriott's, Pullman, Four Seasons, Shangri-La, Park Hyatt. And we are in very close proximity to these hotels. And that's a deliberate thing because we want our students, as I mentioned before, to be working in the industry. So we want you to come in, come to class, and then go out and work in the industry. Also, being close to the hotels means it's easy for us to get guest speakers onto campus as well. So very exciting, an amazing location, beautiful building. Actually underwent a $4 million renovation in 2019. So very exciting to have this amazing campus for students in Sydney. Next slide, please. The second campus that we have at the hotel school is our Melbourne campus, which was opened in 2015. Again, has undergone a renovation about 18 months ago now. It's a fantastic campus, actually very popular, probably the most popular campus with our Indonesian students. We are in the free tram zone, very close to Central Station, short walk from Flinders Street Station. And we are very close to the Bourke Street Mall, which is probably the biggest shopping destination in Melbourne, which I know a lot of our Indonesian students like. Melbourne's a great cosmopolitan city. We have a great team on our Melbourne campus. And it's one of the fastest growing campuses of the hotel school. So an amazing destination for students as well. Next slide, please. The third campus that we have for the Hotel School Australia is Brisbane. Again, right in the middle of the CBD, we're on Creek Street. We're very excited to be in Brisbane. So we opened Brisbane in 2019, late 2019. And Brisbane is quite a unique hospitality or hotel scene. Some fantastic hotels like the W Brisbane, the Westin, the Sofitel. But Brisbane also has the opportunities on the Gold Coast as well. So the Gold Coast is less than an hour commute away, and we know that that's a really big tourism destination as well. We have our own Sanctuary Cove property there on the Gold Coast, but there's lots of different opportunities for students both in Brisbane and the Gold Coast when they're studying at our Brisbane campus. So very exciting to be there. Again, a great team, brand new campus there. So yeah, very excited to be in Brisbane as well. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm going to quickly run you through the courses that we offer. So you can see we've spoken about the employment opportunities, we've spoken about the internships, we've spoken about the additional services that we have at the hotel school, and now we can talk a little bit about the different courses that we offer. So next slide, please. Okay, we're going to start with the associate degree program. So it's an associate degree of international tourism and hotel management. Now, this is quite a unique program, actually. It's a 2-year program, full-time. And within that 2 years, students actually do 880 hours of paid internship. So what we did for this associate degree program was we actually partnered with a school called HTMI, which is based in Switzerland. Now, HTMI is actually ranked number 13 in the QS rankings. So in the top 15 hotel schools in the world. And we're delivering their program here in Australia. So we're bringing the best of Swiss education to one of the most popular destinations for international education in the world, Australia. And we're delivering a dual Swiss and Australian qualification. So the students actually receive an associate degree from Southern Cross University, and they receive a diploma from HTMI in Switzerland. So very excited to be able to offer this associate degree program, quite unique, nothing like it, and nothing else like it in the market in Australia. Next slide, please. The next course I wanted to speak about was our Bachelor course, Bachelor of Business in Hotel Management. And the BBHM, as we call it, the Bachelor of Business in Hotel Management, is a flagship program for the hotel school. As I mentioned before, it is a business qualification, so students get a real grounding in the business skills, as well as some specialised hotel management, hospitality, tourism, events units as well. So it's a 3-year course. Again, we have 3 intakes in a year, February, June and November. In terms of the admissions requirements, we're looking at an IELTS 6.0, no band less than 5.5, and a qualification equivalent to an Australian Year 12 with a required entry grade. So the Bachelor course does have that internship, 6-month paid internship as part of it as well. Next slide, please. The master's qualification. This is a master's qualification we've been delivering for about 2 years, so a relatively new course. It's called a Masters of Business in Global Hotel Leadership. Again, 3 intakes in the year. This is a 2-year course, including an opportunity to do up to about 6 months of paid internship within that 2 years. This is a really unique course, which was co-designed by the industry. It's for the industry and also delivered in part by the industry. So this is a really unique program. The way I've heard it described by some of our academic leaders is it's like an executive MBA for the hotel and hospitality industry. So very excited to have this course. It's extremely popular with our international students, and again, quite a unique program. Next slide, please. So in terms of the advantages of this course, as I mentioned before, there's delivery of specialized units by industry partners, the internship opportunities in Mulford Property, the 6-month internship program that provides industry relevant experience and networking opportunities. This is quite unique in that it offers that 6-month paid internship in a 2-year public Australian university master's qualification. So really exciting course for our students. Next slide, please. Okay, just to sum up the hotel school advantage, we are in fact Australia's oldest hotel school, having opened in 1989, originally starting in Sydney before expanding to Melbourne, then to Brisbane, and we actually have a brand new campus on Hayman Island as well at the Intercontinental, which is very exciting. We have the CBD locations in Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane. Paid internships, as I mentioned, students have the opportunity to earn over 27 Australian dollars per hour during their internships, whilst also gaining very valuable work experience. We have a global community composed of over 35 different nationalities. So we have students studying with us from all over the world. We have students from all over Asia, from South America, from North America, from Europe. So a real good mix of nationalities. We're approximately 50% Australian local students and about 50% international students. Unique industry connections. We really do have very unique industry connections. Unique in the fact that we're not just a hotel school. We can open doors because we are part owned by a multi-billion-dollar 5-star hotel investor. So we can open doors, make connections that other hotel schools simply can't. And as I mentioned before, we have a public university degree. This is not a private university. It's a public university which has recognition internationally. So you can take this qualification and work anywhere around the world with a qualification from the hotel school, part of Southern Cross University. Next slide, please. Okay, that brings me to the end of my part of the presentation. So thank you very much. More than happy to take any questions if anybody has any.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Tim. And that's a lot, yeah, information and also so many, interesting, so many benefits, so many spectacular information. Ya, itu tadi dari Mr. Tim. Mungkin dari partisipan silakan aja yang mau tanya bisa chat langsung ya di box chatnya. Kita tunggu. Tapi kalau misalnya mungkin belum, juga nanti mungkin pertama dari Miss Amel. Ada sesuatu yang ingin disampaikan?
Ya, Mr. Tim. From the associate degree to bachelor degree, is it possible that is it progress or you should do more 3 years after the associate degree?
That's a very good question. Yes, there is definitely progression from the associate degree into the bachelor program. So you can do 2 years of the associate degree and then you only need to do 1 additional year and then you'd get the bachelor. So if you were to do that particular pathway, you'd actually receive 3 qualifications in 3 years. You'd receive the associate degree from Southern Cross University. the Bachelor degree from Southern Cross University, and the diploma from HTMI in Switzerland. So 2 Australian qualifications, 1 Swiss qualification. You get to do 880 hours or about 10 months of paid internship, all in that 3-year package. Yeah, that's a very good question.
Okay. And then is there any difference for the English IELTS or IBT TOEFL entry requirement for associate degree and bachelor degree?
There is a slight difference in the English requirements for the Bachelor program. It's IELTS 6, no band less than 5.5.
Okay.
And then for the associate degree, we do have, let me see if I can find the specific entry requirements for Indonesia for here.
Yeah. While Mr. Tim is still looking for the entry requirement, he's still checking if the student here in Yogyakarta doesn't have IELTS or IBT TOEFL, we still can have a course here.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Still have, they can do the preparation here too. Yep.
Yeah, and we would certainly encourage our students to do preparation with you guys, because we know that that's a really important foundation to have, is to have those strong language skills. And so doing a preparation course, I think, really sets students up for a successful start to their studies in international education. So it's certainly something that's very valuable. And I recommend that all students come down and do some sort of preparation. So just in terms of the entry requirements, it's the same English requirement. So it's IELTS 6, no band less than 5.5. There is a slight difference. So for the academic entry, it's the SMR or SMK, any streaming with minimum academic score of 7.5 for the associate degree. For the bachelor program, it's only the SMR, no SMK, of any streaming with minimum academic score of 8.0.
I see. So there's slight different for the academic qualification.
Yeah, slight different for the academics, but the English is the same.
Yeah. But don't worry, guys. This is still you can do associate degree, because it's like there's theoretical and practical, because we need the more practical elements to work at the hotel star later after we graduate.
The hospitality industry.
Yes, of course. Yes. Is there any question? Ada pertanyaan? Silakan.
Ya, buat teman-teman yang kepengen tanya, ini mumpung Mr. Tim itu ya standby untuk kita, silakan langsung bisa ketik di chat box. Buat teman-teman nanti kita bacakan.
Oke, Alif, silakan. Ada pertanyaan? Mau di unmute boleh, mau diketik juga boleh. Silakan.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
My name's Alfie Bobo. Well, actually, I am looking for the master degree, and I have checked your website that there is a courses for that. And I'm curious that in the last, there is the internship, right?
Yes,
there is the 2 type of internship, industry internship A and B.
Yes.
And in the last of our courses, is it required for us to make a thesis or just make a internship report? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. It's not required to do a thesis. So the internship in the master's qualification is actually it's elective that you choose, or 2 electives that you choose. So you have your core units and your elective units. So you can choose the internship A and B, and we combine them together basically so that you can do one longer internship, because the hotels generally want you for a longer period of time, or the tourism businesses, etc. And it's a lot easier for you, rather than breaking it up and doing 2 3-month internships, to do one longer 6-month internship. So no, there's no thesis required for that. You do a preparation unit before you go into the internship. And that's a prerequisite of doing it. You have some sort of choice and flexibility when you want to do the internship. We have quite a lot of our students, our master's students, that will leave the internship to the last part of their course, because that means you can do the internship and then quite often stay with the same hotel or the same business and continue working full-time after you finish the course. So there is a little bit of flexibility there, and we're happy to work with you to sort of look at what your previous experience is, what your career goals are, and then try and steer you in the right direction with that internship, which can then be a launching pad into a proper graduate position after you finish. Does that answer your question, Alfie?
Yeah. I have one question anymore.
Sure.
Is there a maximum age for continue my study for the master degree?
So there's not a maximum age in terms of who will accept, but there is what we call a GTE requirement from the Australian government, so a genuine temporary entrant. So we'd have to have a look at what our GTE requirement is. There will be a maximum age on here. Let me see what it is for Indonesia. Do you mind me asking what your age is, Alfie?
My age?
Yeah.
My age is 26.
Oh, 26, you'll be fine. Yeah, I don't even need to check that. 26 is all good. So generally under 30 is not a problem. It may even be older than 30 for Indonesia. I believe it probably is. My computer stopped working. Yeah, if you're under 30 years of age, no problem at all. And people can actually choose to study this course online if they like, without coming down to Australia. Obviously, if you're in a position to come to Australia, I would highly recommend doing it. It's a fantastic place. You'll get a really good experience down here. But if some older people wanted to do the course online, we can certainly look at that as an option as well.
Of course, I want to come to Australia because that's the purpose. I want to study abroad.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'd love to have you come down. It's as I said before, look, right now is the perfect time to come down. I can tell you, speaking to my colleagues who work with the industry, they are so desperate for staff. Like, we are having students come down, they do orientation, and then the next day they start work. And at the moment as well, normally as an international student in Australia, you're limited to working 20 hours per week, or they call it 40 hours every 2 weeks, whilst you're actually studying. At the moment, the Australian government's scrapped that. So you can work as many hours as you like. Obviously, your studies are your top priority, but it's a great opportunity to be able to work a little bit more if you can cope with that, and to earn a little bit more money, pay off the cost of the tuition, and get some really valuable experience. And you'll find that your career progression will be really rapid at the moment, just because hotels are desperate. I can tell you a story. We had some Indonesian student in Melbourne who was a second-year student, I think. She was just doing the Bachelor degree. And it came to internship, and she was looking for an internship, and the Westin Hotel wanted her and the Sofitel Hotel wanted her. And they were, the human resources directors were sending cakes to them saying, no, come and work with us. We'll pay you a little bit more. We'll do this. So that they're actually fighting over our students at the moment, which is it's a great position for the students to be in.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for your answer.
Pleasure. Thanks so much for your questions, and thanks for coming today. Hope to see you in Australia soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope.
Mr. Tim, so I have two more questions about the master for Ali. Is there any like a minimum GPA for the master degree?
Let me consult here. No, so what I've got here from my Indonesian country manager is that they finished Bachelor or Diploma 4 from any major background. So no, there's no minimum requirement for GPA.
So it's a very good news for everyone here to apply for master degree at the hotel school, yeah? And then is there any scholarship opportunity for the master degree?
Yes, yeah, we have scholarships for the master's degree, so up to $6,000 to put towards the cost of first year. As I mentioned, we've got some more information. So if students want to contact you to get this information, we've got information about what the tuition fees are, but then what their opportunity to earn. So if they work 20 hours part-time, plus they do their internship at the minimum salary rate, this is how much they'll earn over that 2-year period. And then we know at the moment, other good news from the Australian government is that students that do our master's program now, they were able to apply for post-study work rights, the 485 visa, which was 2 years. But now master's graduates actually get a 3-year post-study, which is fantastic news.
Yeah, I think that's another fantastic news from the Australian government for international students, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. It was a great announcement.
So Alif and everyone here, so it's just like many good news from Mr. Tim about the opportunity to study in Australia at this moment, yeah? Okay. Ada pertanyaan yang lain dari teman-teman yang lain? Silakan. Yes, it's excited news.
Yes, yes, Mas Alif.
Yang lainnya mungkin ada pertanyaan lainnya sebelum kita.
Kita punya. Tinggal maybe like 5 more minutes.
Yes. So we still have Mr. Tim from the hotel school with us. Yeah. So any question, guys? There's no limit for the question.
Yeah,
if you have interest to work and study in Australia, but of course, like Mr. Tim said, first priority is study, and then the second priority is working.
That's right. Maybe if there's, while people are thinking of some more questions, I can just give a little bit more information about our Hayman Island campus, because we opened this Hayman Island campus this year, and we're only delivering our associate degree. So it's this luxury island, the Intercontinental Hayman Island Resort in the Whitsundays in Australia, which again is a regional location. Now, students are able to live, I said before how much it costs, about $2,000 a night to stay as a guest on that hotel. But for students, it's much cheaper, and they can actually live and work and study on the island. So it's amazing for the students to be able to do that. So they have an interview with Intercontinental as part of the application process. And then they have their 20 hours part-time work per week, sometimes more. And they get to live on this beautiful tropical island. I see videos, if you go onto our Instagram, you'll see them, of students taking helicopter flights around the Whitsundays, of them going on sunset cruises, and they get to do their 2 internships on the island. It's paradise. And it's really cheap in terms of the cost of living. So you might not believe this, but the cost of accommodation on the island plus their food, so they get 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, cooked by the same chefs that cook the guest food. It's amazing food. It's only $170 per week. So it's actually a lot cheaper to live on Hayman Island with us than it is to live in Sydney or Melbourne or Brisbane. So yeah, that's really, really exciting opportunity for our students. Only the associate degree offered there for now, but students could come and do 2 years of associate degree on Hayman Island and then move to our Brisbane campus to do 1 more year to get their bachelor degree. So yeah, very exciting. I just thought I'd share a little bit more information about that.
Yeah, definitely we'll go to the social media soon to check that.
Yeah, please do.
Living in Ireland, as the internship student from hotel school,
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Such a beautiful place.
Okay. Sambil menunggu pertanyaan yang lainnya, mungkin teman-teman yang lainnya bisa bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia, tenang aja, nanti kita bantu.
Silakan, bisa ketik atau juga bisa langsung tanya dengan kita atau juga Mr. Tim.
Misalnya ada yang nanya, is there any interview to apply?
How about the interview?
Is there any interview to apply and get the letter of acceptance or get accepted from the hotel school, Mr.
Not
Tim?
normally. For Indonesian students, it's not normally required to do an interview. The only exception is, as I mentioned, for that Hayman Island to take a position on that island, because everybody that lives on the island has to work for Intercontinental hotels as well. So Intercontinental need to do an interview. So that's part of that process for that particular campus. But for Melbourne, Sydney or Brisbane, no, not normally for Indonesian students, an interview is not required. So they can apply through IDP. They submit all of their documents to us. We will give them a letter of offer. And then once there's no conditions on that offer, they're able to accept the offer, make a deposit payment, and then we'll issue the COE and they can apply for visa. So pretty straightforward application process, particularly for Indonesian students.
Free, no application fee, yeah?
No application fee. No,
No application fee.
Yeah, so everyone, also if like you're still having the IELTS or TOEFL preparation here, you still can apply. Meanwhile, you're waiting the IELTS or TOEFL result. Yeah, it's possible to do that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Is there any like your email or that maybe we can share to the student here? Maybe after this session, they want to contact you, Mr. Tim, and then
Let me put it in the chat here, and it'll pop up for everyone.
Yes, thank you.
That's right. There we go. That's my email address. If you want to contact somebody out, we have Donnie, I'll put Donnie's email address in there as well, because Donnie's here in Indonesia. He's based out of Jakarta. He's off doing something else in Bali today, so he couldn't join us. But if you want to contact Donnie, that's his email address.
Ya, so teman-teman di sini bisa langsung di ini juga ya.
Screenshot boleh.
Bisa kontak langsung ke Mr. Tim or Mr. Donnie. Mr. Donnie, Indonesian staff ya, representative from the hotel school.
This hotel school, Australia.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Tim, for your time and also for the information. That's really, really great information.
Yes.
And thank you so much also to Miss Amel yang selalu setia dengan kita. Terima kasih juga untuk para partisipan dan juga Mas Alif ya. Segera ditunggu Mas Alif untuk bisa bertemu dengan Mr. Tim in Australia.
Yes. Segera untuk kuliah dan bekerja di sana ya.
Kuliah dan bekerja di sana. Tadi benefitnya sudah banyak banget ya. Pokoknya semua itu pokoknya sudah oke banget ya di hotel school-nya. Benar-benar sekolah, kemudian juga siswa itu diarahkan juga untuk langsung bekerja. Jadi solusinya dua.
Job ready.
Ya, job ready. Jadi solutionnya ada two solution ya. Study and then work. Tapi tadi pesannya Mr. Tim, study first and then work. Oke, terima kasih semuanya. Saya ucapkan thank you so much for Mr. Tim. Semoga nanti kita bisa bertemu lagi di kesempatan berikutnya, the next
Zoom session or
offline or offline. Hopefully Mr. Tim can visit us in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Ya, Mr. Tim.
I hope so. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Ya, selamat siang untuk semuanya. Sehat selalu.
Bye everyone.
IONS have been vaccinated.